जिंदाबाद
जीवे जीवे
पाकिस्तान
जीवे जीवे
पाकिस्तान
पाकिस्तान
जिंदाबाद
मिलके सब मिलके पाकिस्तान
जिंदाबाद
जीवे जीवे
पाकिस्तान
जीवे जीवे
पाकिस्तान
जीवे जीवे
पाकिस्तान
कनाडा
जिंदाबाद
कनाडा
जिंदाबाद
कनाडा
जिंदाबाद
प्रीमियर इंटेरियो
जिंदाबाद
प्रीमियर इंटेरियो
थैंक यू
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to formally start the program, I would like to invite Mr. Muhammad Ashraf to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran. Please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, the President and the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan have sent us the congratulatory messages. The Consul General, Mr. Imran Ahmad Siddiqui, would like to read out the messages of the President and the Prime Minister. Consul General.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम लेडीज़ एंड जेंटलमैन, ख़वातीन और हज़रात, इससे पहले कि मैं ये मैसेज पढ़ूँ, मैं आप सब लोगों को जश्न आज़ादी की मुबारकबाद पेश करना चाहता हूँ। एंड आई एम वेरी थैंकफुल टू द प्रीमियर ऑफ ओंटारियो फॉर gracing this occasion. I formally welcome her to the Constitution of Pakistan and other member parliaments and member provincial parliament. Today we remember the sacrifices of those who gave their lives, their blood in the foundation of Pakistan. A large number of people, you know the history, millions of people basically migrated to Pakistan in 1947, and a large number of them could not make to Pakistan. We remember them in our prayers today, and we also remember two great personalities. In addition to our founding fathers who gave their lives, the whole lives, for eradication of poverty, hunger and disease from Pakistan. One was Maulana Abdul Sattar Eidi, who we lost him last year, and this year, 3-4 days ago, we lost Dr. Ruth Fau. She was a German national who adopted Pakistan as her own homeland, and then she stayed there for 56 years, and she gave her life for the cause of eradicating the disease of leprosy from Pakistan. So please remember her in your prayers whenever you pray for the founding fathers of Pakistan. Now the messages of the President and the Prime Minister. First, the message of the President of Pakistan, Mr. Mamnoon Hussain. While we happily hoist the national flag today, we need to reiterate our strong resolve to always uphold the values of determination and dedication for the objective of development of Pakistan. 70 years ago, while struggling for freedom, our elders had resolved that this nation, through consistent endeavors, will make our country a cradle of peace, brotherhood, and a welfare society, which will be an example for the world to follow. In the wake of challenges confronted by the country today, it is imperative to promote moderation and rationality while availing the available resources and opportunities. In such a situation, it is necessary to unite under the Constitution in the national interest by setting aside our differences and ensure its supremacy. The Constitution is a document which will show the path to realize national objectives by rising above our personal interests. It will also guarantee progress and stability of the motherland as a manifestation of national aspirations, God willing. Today, let us make a firm commitment that we will adhere to our national objectives and goals. This will pave the way for better governance. It will lead to maturity of democratic traditions and will also strengthen the process of national progress. Let us join hands for development and prosperity of the motherland by keeping aside our differences. Let us promote love and harmony by overcoming hatred and misgivings and secure the future of our nation by turning despondency into hope in order to celebrate freedom in its true sense. Now the message of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. The independence that we achieved 70 years ago was an outcome of the unparalleled sacrifices made by our ancestors. Millions of Muslims rendered sacrifices for ours as well as the future of the posterity. Today, we are treading the path of prosperity and progress in a peaceful and dignified country because of those sacrifices. We are greatly indebted to our ancestors for their sacrifices, and we can repay that debt only by making Pakistan a free and independent country. We may belong to different tribes, fraternities, and ethnicities. We may be working in different spheres of national life. Our political vision and thinking can be different, and our economic vision may have different perspectives. But ascendancy of national interest and invincible defense are common objectives of the entire nation, for which we have to make collective endeavors. Quaid-e-Azam had envisioned Pakistan as a democratic, modern entity. This dream faced myriad of challenges, and the PMLN government, notwithstanding the confronting difficulties, has made the realization of Quaid-e-Azam's dream as its abiding mission. Pakistan desires positive and constructive relations with all the countries of the world, especially with its neighbors, on the basis of sovereign equality. The people of South Asia have suffered enormously in the last 50 years due to the facing conflicts. Until and unless those conflicts are resolved amicably, the people of the region cannot achieve prosperity and progress. Our government has invariably made efforts to initiate the process of meaningful dialogue and adoption of peaceful means to resolve the issues, but unfortunately the expansionist designs of India have remained the main hurdle in this regard. It is incumbent upon the international community to play its role in the resolution of regional conflicts, particularly the Kashmir dispute, in conformity with the UN resolutions on the subject with a view to ensuring durable peace in the region. Terrorism is the biggest challenge confronting the world in the 21st century. Pakistan has rendered unparalleled sacrifices in the fight against this menace, as well as for the world peace. Our armed forces, law enforcing agencies, and the people have written imperishable stories of sacrifices in this regard. Now the time has come for the international community not only to acknowledge those sacrifices by rising above their interests in the region, but also to fully support Pakistan in taking the fight against terrorism to its logical conclusion. My government has a vision of accelerating the pace of development and prosperity in Pakistan so that all those professionals can return to contribute to this national effort. I assure the Pakistani youth that tomorrow's Pakistan will ensure the implementation of guiding principles of rule of law and ascendancy of merit. On the 70th Independence Day of the country, I make a solemn pledge that we will not relent until the achievement of those objectives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council General. Please welcome the 25th Premier of Ontario.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a real honor to be here with you. And to all of our guests from Pakistan, welcome. It's an honor to have you here. To my elected colleagues, both federal and provincial, it's a wonderful opportunity to be here with all of you. And what a wonderful turnout. Happy 70th birthday to Pakistan. It's an honor to be here to help you celebrate and to join with you in celebrating the 70th Pakistan Independence Day. And I want you to know that I feel the pride in the room of the people who were born in Pakistan or who are connected to Pakistan still, who have family in Pakistan, and even those of the little ones who were not born in Pakistan. You know you are connected through your family. So I want to acknowledge that pride and say thank you for allowing me to be here to share in it with you. And Consul General Siddiqui, thank you very much for allowing us to have this opportunity to be here with you and for opening the consulate to us all. Thank you. The Pakistani Canadian community may be relatively young here in Ontario, but your impact and influence on our economy and on our society has been strong, from poets and academics to comedians and athletes like Boom Boom. Oh my goodness. A lot of you know Boom Boom Afridi was here, and I had the pleasure of being with him when he opened the Valley Park Middle School. No one saw anyone except Boom Boom. He was totally the star of the moment. But I've always been impressed, and I've had the opportunity to represent a community that has many Pakistani Canadians as part of it for some years now, and I'm always struck by the hard work, the commitment, the volunteerism, and the engagement in community that Canadians of Pakistani origin endeavor to pass on to their children. You include your children in all of the events that we hold, and it is very much a community commitment. So thank you. So in his first presidential address all those 70 years ago, Pakistan's founder Muhammad Ali Jinnah painted a picture of the society that he wanted to build, and the Consul General used some of that language when he read the message from Pakistan. But Jinnah said, "We are starting in the days where there is no discrimination, no distinction between one community and another. We are starting with this fundamental principle that we are all citizens and equal citizens of one state." So Pakistan's first step as a nation were towards equality and harmony. And I think that is the thing that today all of us need to focus on. Yes, we are celebrating Pakistan's 70th Independence Day, and that is a wonderful thing, and it's a cause for joy and celebration. And we are doing that in the context of a world that has moved away from that message, that has moved away from a message of harmony and unity. And again, Consul General, you acknowledge that in terms of the challenges that Pakistan faces. But those are not just challenges that Pakistan faces. Those are challenges that every single one of us faces. Everyone on the face of the earth is challenged by the desire to create a world, to create a global society that is inclusive, that is not just tolerant, but is accepting and loving. That is what we believe in as human beings. We believe that is possible. And yet, it seems at every turn, we see examples of hatred, we see examples of disruption of that harmony, and so all of us, I think, ask ourselves, what can we do as individuals to make sure that we move in the other direction, that we move to harmony? And in Canada, we hold ourselves out as a beacon of a model of a place that has figured out that diversity actually makes us stronger. I just came from a canoe trip. I was on the Rainy River in northwestern Ontario with a group of young Indigenous people. And one of them, as we were paddling along the river, said, "There are so many different kinds of trees." That's what nature does. Nature puts difference together because that's how we flourish. That's how those trees flourish. If those trees were all the same, they'd wither and die. They need that diversity to be strong. Human beings need that diversity to be strong. And somehow we haven't figured that out as a global society. So yes, Canada puts itself forward as a place that values diversity, that understands diversity, but we have to be very, very clear that we have to be vigilant. We can't assume that we have reached that place where our peaceful society is indestructible. It's not. We know it's fragile. We know that we have to guard that, protect that, and grow that. So I would say today, This is not a day to be silent. This is a day to speak up wherever we are, wherever we find ourselves today, whether we're in meetings, whether we are talking with the media, whether we are sitting at a table with our children. This is a day to say it's very important that we recommit ourselves to that harmony, to that belief in equality among people, because there are forces that want to undermine that. And so, inshallah, we will all be able to do that today and all the days in our future, and we will actually in this country and beyond create that society that we all desire in our hearts. So happy Pakistan Independence Day, and thank you so much for including me and being the strong and loving community that you are. And I have a certificate. Mr. Consul General, can I just give this to you? And it is a version of what I just said on the certificate, and wishing you a happy 70th Pakistan Independence Day.
Indeed, diversity makes us stronger. Let me tell you, Premier, every Pakistani is committed to the principles and teachings of our Qaid, that is equality, fraternity, respect, and dignity. Thank you so much, Premier, especially thank you for the Independence Day message which you have already conveyed to our community. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have among us Professor Dr. Anwar Naseem, who is the President of Pakistan Academy of Sciences. He has written almost 100 articles in different international journals, and he has 8 books which he has authored to his credit. He has also remained as a principal scientist of the Atomic Energy Commission of Canada, and he has also been he has been working in Stanford University and Carleton University and University of Ottawa.
My only message that I would like to convey to my fellow Pakistanis and my Canadian friends, that for nearly 12 years, now for 12 years, I kept thinking about possible approaches to achieve national prosperity, economic stability. And I said to myself that besides the government, that's not a criticism of the government, but besides the government, there are several non-government organizations. But then, beside government and the normal government organizations, there are a large number, vast majority of individuals, motivated, committed, wishing to do something. So, for want of a better abbreviation, I use the word NGIs, or non-government individuals. Now, that doesn't mean that people who are the government cannot be champions or cannot be non-government individuals. And therefore, on this happy occasion, while wishing you a very happy independence anniversary, I would like to share this with my friends in Canada and my fellow Pakistanis, that as individuals, there's a great deal that you can achieve. And Siddiqui Sahab mentioned 2 outstanding people, Abdul Staridi and Dr. Fa, who are models. I had picked at that time 7 people. I won't go into the details, but both of them were among that list. So I'm sure, Madam Premier, there are a number of people in this country also who can be labeled as champions, labeled as NGIs, that I say. But my submission and this occasion would be that every one of us has a good deal, a great deal of potential to achieve some objectives that they believe in. So I think let's, besides all this celebration and all the good wishes and the prayers, let's make a commitment only as a person. I always say this is just me and you, that what is it that we can contribute to bring in strength, prosperity and economic stability in the country. And if we do that, I think we're off to a very good start, and I hope and wish that we'll be able to achieve this. Now we have a large community here. I am extremely grateful to you, Mr. Siddiqui, for giving me this opportunity, and there are a large number of things that we can work on later on. Thank you for this opportunity. I only want to leave this take-home message with you, that think about what you can do or achieve or contribute as an individual, both for Canada and for Pakistan. Thank you very much.
Shukriya, Dr. Saab. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to invite Member Parliament, Honorable Rob Oliphant, for brief remarks on this occasion.
Assalamu alaikum. This is, I look out into this crowd and I see faces of friends and colleagues and people who are building this country in a way that is really the envy of the world. Over this summer, I've had the chance to travel to a number of different countries, and everywhere I have gone, people have asked me, how is it that Canada does it? And I think, as the Premier said, we do it by being more than tolerant. We do it by being generous, by being creative, by being welcoming, and by being inclusive. And I am learning that from the Pakistani Canadian community. Every day that I work in this job as a Member of Parliament, I am inspired, I am challenged, I am encouraged, and I'm given great strength from friends in the Pakistani Canadian community. Many of you have chosen this country facing adversity, and many of you have come here looking for opportunity, economic opportunity, educational opportunity, opportunity to expand your horizons as a professional, or opportunity to build your family in this place. And as you are seeking that opportunity, Canada has become richer. Canada has become better. Canada has become really the envy of the world. And so on this day, when we celebrate the 70th anniversary of the independence of Pakistan, we welcome that friendship. We welcome the community of Canadians who have come from Pakistan, and some return to Pakistan taking Canadian values and Canadian ideas with them. And so in that exchange, we grow, we become, and we improve as a country. So on this day, and I believe my colleagues are going to speak as well, so I won't speak on behalf of them. I am thrilled that I am no longer the only Pakistani Canadian in the House of Commons. You have upgraded, and that is part of what happens in this country, is as people engage in civil society, as you volunteer, as you become part of the new mainstream of this country, you take your places in the corridors of power, in city halls, in provincial legislatures, and in the House of Commons. And I am so very glad to have my colleagues Ikra and Salma there, who teach me every day what it is to be a great Canadian and to bring the roots that we have from our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, to build this country together. I wish you all the very best on this on this Pakistan Independence Day, and hope that you have a wonderful and happy and safe summer, and continue to celebrate the 150th anniversary of this great country we live in. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to invite Honorable Salma Zahid, Member Parliament, to give her remarks.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम, गुड मॉर्निंग। आप सबको मेरी तरफ से जश्न आज़ादी मुबारक। Honorable Premier Captain Wing, Honorable Consul General Imran Siddiqui, my colleagues Rob and Ikra, and MPP Shafiq Qadri. Happy Independence Day to all of you. मेरे प्यारे बहनों और भाइयों, आज़ादी एक बहुत बड़ी नेमत है, और जैसे मेरी नानी हमेशा कहती थी कि एक आज़ाद मुल्क में सांस लेने की जो फीलिंग है वो तुम लोग नहीं महसूस कर सकते, क्योंकि हम लोग उस चीज़ से गुजरे हैं। तो आज़ाद मुल्क में सांस लेने को जो जितनी बड़ी नेमत समझा जाए, हमें समझना चाहिए। तो आज हम जैसे इकट्ठे होके 70वीं सालगिरह मना रहे हैं, हमारे ऊपर ये लाजिम है कि हम लोग अपनी जिम्मेदारी पूरी करें और यहाँ बेशक हम 7 समुंदर पार आ गए, लिटरली मेरा ख्याल है कि वो कहावत जो है कि जी 7 समुंदर पार, हम पाकिस्तान से 7 समुंदर पार हैं, लेकिन पाकिस्तान के लिए जो मोहब्बत है वो हमेशा हमारे दिलों में रहेगी। I'm a mother of 2 kids. One of them was born in Pakistan, one of them was born here in Canada. But for both of them, whenever someone asks who you are, they define themselves as Canadian Muslims of Pakistani origin. So that identity will stand for with all our future generations. So as Canadians of Pakistani origin, it is important that we take the responsibility of fulfilling what we can do for Pakistan. Pakistan, if you compare it with Canada, it's a country which was born 70 years ago, but I think it has come a long way. But still, we need to do more work and make sure that every boy, every girl in Pakistan gets equipped with the tool of education. And I think here we can do a lot towards that. Whether we use our financial resources, our time, and I know Consulate General is making a great effort in regards to that, in bringing the academia here, making sure that we have exchange program among our universities. And along with that, we need to make sure that we increase the trade among 2 countries and bring the Pakistani Canadians live together and build a more inclusive society. This year, as we celebrate the 70th independence of Pakistan, we are also celebrating the 150th anniversary of this great country, Canada. We have all called home. So it's a time to recognize the contributions of the Canadians of Pakistani origin. I know comparatively, this community is new here in Canada, but they have made great endeavors in all walks of life. And we need to recognize that. Whether it is in politics, whether it is in medical field, in teaching field, in business, and I know Pakistani community continues to contribute to the socio-economic fabric of this great country. We need to recognize that and make sure that we create a more tolerant and inclusive society here in Canada, across the world, and in Pakistan. I have a message from our Prime Minister, Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, and I would like to read that to all of you. Dear friends, I am pleased to extend my warmest greetings to everyone attending the flag-raising ceremony marking the 70th anniversary of Pakistan's independence in all fields of endeavor. I would like to thank the Consulate General of Pakistan for bringing this celebration to the community. Canada is home to a multitude of cultures that live, work, and thrive together. This event stands as an important reminder that our country is made great not in spite of its diversity, but because of it. Please accept my best wishes for a memorable anniversary celebration. Sincerely signed by the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. I would request my colleagues Ikra and Rob to please come so that we can present this to the Consulate General. Thanks a lot, and let's say it together, Pakistan Zindabad, long live Canada. Thank you.
Now at this moment, I would like to invite Member Provincial Parliament, Honorable Shafiq Qadri, to give her remarks.
It's an honor and privilege to be here. Imran bhai, hum sab aapke shukrguzar hain, sir, not only for arranging such lovely functions, but for your presence in Parliament, for having lovely Islamic calligraphy exhibits when we welcomed some of the victims of the Quebec shooting in January 29th. As well, जिस तरह से और लोगों ने जाहिर किया है, जिक्र किया है, अम्मी अक्सर बताती हैं, सुनाती हैं, याद दिलाती हैं कि पाकिस्तान किन किन कुर्बानियों से हासिल किया गया. And I think, as has been mentioned at this podium, it is our responsibility and our privilege and our honor to uphold those dear values of the founder, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, whether it's of unity, faith, and discipline, and so many others, not only here in Canada, but also for future generations. अभी जो रमज़ान गुजरा है, उसके लिए उस वक्त कुछ खास चीज़ें मेरे ख्याल में हमारे कम्युनिटी के साथ हुए हैं. As the Premier has very rightly mentioned, and we know all of us who work with you, Premier Wynne, know that you do hold these truths to be self-evident about equality and harmony and respect for all. Those of us who work with her, and there are many of her staff, हमारे हमनाम भी मौजूद हैं, Mazhar Shafiq, many of her staff, the security, many of them are here, and all of them will attest to you, whether she's in formal meetings, meeting with presidents or prime ministers or ambassadors, whether she's in informal meetings, whether in her own riding, which is ably represented federally, Don Valley West by Rob Oliphant, or provincially by the Premier herself, which has, as you will know, the highest concentration of Pakistani Canadians anywhere in this country. In all of those different contexts, in those milieux, in those atmospheres, she is constantly motivated by the spirit of harmony and equality, and quite literally thinks of all 13.5 million Ontarians as members of her family. और जिस तरह से उन्होंने इस साल रमज़ान करीम के वक्त में के महीना में हमारे साथ रोज़ा भी रखा, जिस तरह उन्होंने 800 लोगों की इफ्तार भी की थी on June 12th. I know, Premier, that small gesture, and by the way, I must say we got it right. पिछले साल जब हमने उनसे रोज़ा रखवाया, उन्होंने खुद पूछा कि भाई रोज़ा ये क्या चीज़ है, हमने उनको समझाया, हम भूल गए उनको कहना कि 3:30 बजे के बाद आप जाके सो भी सकते हैं. So, but we got that right this year, and we want to thank you and belated recognition of that extreme fatigue, Premier, that you endured that day. But we know that you are motivated, as I said, by this deep spirit of humanity and collegiality and faith and unity and discipline. And as you quite rightly mentioned, those of us who have the privilege to serve in Parliament, for myself now 15 years going, alhamdulillah, aapki duaein se and strong, we can see that the forces against those are ever present. और अगर आपको और इसकी सबक की ज़रूरत है, आप कुछ वक्त अमेरिका में गुजार के आएँ, और of course it depends कि किस स्टेट में भी आप जाएंगे. And जिस तरह से मैंने उस तकरीर में भी कहा था, when I said Premier, during that Ramadan event in which you hosted 800 people, Ramadan is a time where we count our blessings, where we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that we have. But I must say as well that amongst those blessings, I say with all sincerity, showbazi nahi, sirf alfaz mein nahi ja raha hoon, I say with all sincerity that Premier, you yourself are a blessing from above. I want to thank you, Premier. We're used to, as you know, in this room, to watching the videos of your presentation on the big screens, which are usually here. So we're, of course, touched and honored. And we want to keep this, inshallah, an annual event. But we know that whether you're here physically, we're here always in spirit. And I think there's many, many reasons that, as you will know, that this community loves you. So we want you to stay exactly where you are, inshallah. And we look forward to celebrating next year's Yawm Azadi in person. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ख़वातीनो हज़रात, हमारे दरमियान मौजूद हैं ट्रेड डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी ऑफ पाकिस्तान के चेयरमैन मिस्टर SM Munir. Please welcome Mr. SM Munir for brief remarks.
Great honor, pleasure for me to be here and today at this get together. When I see people in green shirts and green young children with green shirts and green, it looks very nice. Yesterday I attended one big function with my sister Rabia and Rabia Azim. Believe me, it was so nice, so constantly were there. Very well organized function. And that proves that people have love and affection with their country. we should. We must respect our country. Canada is a great country. I come to Canada very often. People ask me, why you go to Canada? Come to Canada, number one, I have friends, a lot of friends, Shafiq and Arwan, and Naveen Bukhari and Aram Shamsi and a lot of other friends. But I come here because everybody is very kind. The country is great. People give a lot of respect to each other. When I come here in winter, people say, why you come in winter? It's so cold. I love to see the cold weather here, and I love to see the summer here. Canada, people have a lot of respect of each other. They help each other. Very helpful people, very kind people. And this is my compliments, madam. Only one small thing I want to mention here. I did mention to you 2 years ago when Shafiq Qadri was sitting with me. We have a problem for the visas. This is not the time, but I just want to say it for the because the relations we are having today with Canada and Pakistan, and particularly Mr. Trudeau. Yesterday in my speech I was mentioning I want to meet Mr. Trudeau not because he's the Prime Minister. I want to meet him because he's a very kind human being. He's a very humble person. Since he has taken over, everybody I see smile on their faces, people are happy. They respect him. So I respect him. So I wish to meet him during my next trip. I requested my consulate to please, if possible, I'd like to meet him and to say my real regards to all Pakistanis. So I was mentioning here that we are having from 21st to 24th our expo. We have got 80 people apply for the exhibitions. Most of those people are having valid Schengen visa and even valid USA visa. 90% visas are refused. You also, I requested you last time, Madam Premier, we need your help. There is something wrong somewhere. We come here, so many Pakistanis sitting here. As I said, we all love Canada. But I don't know why the people having visa of USA refuse. Now what happened? We have booked the place, we have booked the hall, we have paid the advance payment, and now the exhibition will be, there will be no more exhibition. Because when 90% visas are rejected, so I can't have 10 stands. There were 80 stands. So that is one of the things I feel we have to sort it out. I request you, Honorable Premier, help us. Because I think Pakistan, Canada, when I did my first expo, our import-export total turnover not more than $600 million. Today we are $1.4 billion. After my expos, our exports to Pakistan, our import has gone increased. We can import many things from here. We have now money. We have enough money to import anything from you, and we can sell anything to Canada. So my humble suggestion is to find out why Pakistan is not getting these visas. We get visas, we come in, but I request you to find out a solution because I want to improve the ties. I want that this our relation, the friendship, must grow, and that is only possible that people come in and out. People come in and we receive your delegations, and you come to Pakistan. And last is, I'm still waiting for your kind visit to Pakistan. You are most welcome, and Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad will take care of you. Please come. I have requested Shafiq Qadri a number of times. Please come and join us and visit Pakistan. You see yourself the things which people mention. No, Pakistan is a completely changed country. It's a very nice country. Everything is very nice. People are very kind. I can assure you that your visit to Pakistan will be remembered for forever. You will remember. And I can only say Pakistan, Canada friendship, Pahindabad, and Pakistan, Zindabad. And Azadi Mubarak to everybody. Azadi is important. हम लोगों ने बड़ी कुर्बानी दी खातिन हज़रात आंखें बंद करके 2 मिनट सोचें 1947 how many lives were sacrificed. कितने लोग हमारे मुल्क से जो आ रहे थे बेचारे रास्ते में पूरी की पूरी ट्रेनें कटी हुई थी और लोगों ने हमारे बुजुर्गों ने कितनी कुर्बानी दी. हम उन कुर्बानियों को भूल जाते हैं और छोटी छोटी बातों के लिए आपस में एक दूसरे से रंजिश करते हैं. एक दूसरे से दरगुजर करें. पाकिस्तान के हम सब सफ़ीर है पाकिस्तान के, आइए मिल के पाकिस्तान की खिदमत करें। गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
On this auspicious occasion, the Sikh community has also conveyed to us congratulations on the eve of Independence Day of Pakistan. We have a representative from the Sikh community. You may come here and say a few words on this.
ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਵੀਰਾਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਲਾਮ ਅਲੈਕਮ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮੈਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈ ਦਿੰਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਕੌਂਸਲੇਟ ਦਾ, ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ, ਅਕਾਲ ਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਮੈਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 7 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਟੂਰਿਸਟ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਔਰ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਪਿਆਰ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦਾ ਇਤਫਾਕ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਖਲੂਸ, ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਮਾਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ। ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਜਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਖਮਿਆਜ਼ਾ ਵੀ ਭੁਗਤਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ, ਦਸਤਾਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਇੱਕ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੈ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਬਾਰਕ ਦੇਣਾ ਔਰ ਇਮਰਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੁਣੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਥ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਸਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਸਟਾਫ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਥ ਦਿੰਦਾ। ਨਵੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਥਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਔਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਹਿਯੋਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ। ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਮ ਸਾਡੇ ਆਏ ਹਨ, ਕਾਦਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਏ ਹਨ ਔਰ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰਯੋਗ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਨ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੀ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਾਂ ਸਮੁੱਚੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀ ਤਰਫ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੋਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you, Premier. Thank you, Members of Parliament. Thank you, Member of Provincial Parliament, for being part of the celebrations. Thank you for celebrating the Independence Day with us here at the Consulate. Thank you very much.
Sorry.